When you tear your ACL, you're usually going to stay in school longer. And the more you stay in school, the more you build up a following. Caitlin Clark didn't really hit until her junior year. Then her senior year, she was at the end of her junior year in the Final Four, and all of her senior year, she was an absolute superstar. But we'd also be kidding ourselves if we didn't say it's hard to follow the women's game when the next great star isn't playing when the one time a year when people are watching. So, like, look, I think that it's a real thing. It's a real thing where we can admit that it's hard on a year-to-year basis. It is. Now, good thing is Paige Beckers is still playing. UConn is still playing. She is still a star. UConn is still a name. It's not this. No one can convince me it's going to be the same. Right? There's ever going to be some sort of continuous hype, and I'm fascinated by how many people will watch.
I would also say this, that I don't think that these issues are foreign to the men's game either. Maybe the men's game is more popular, but when we look at the women's game, and I felt like in the days of UConn and Tennessee, it was more about Pat Summitt and Gino Auriemma. And now I still think that you have notable coaches in the women's game of Dawn Staley and Kim Mulkey, and Gino is still there. But, you need those star players. And I do think that in the men's game, where we kind of sometimes say the same thing, just maybe at a level that's more popular on the mainstream.
Yeah. I mean,
like if Cooper Flagg doesn't that ankle injury is worse, I think that there's a similar conversation as well going on. Now in the men's game, we've lost a lot of the legendary coaches because they've ended up moving on. But I don't think it's too different. I just think they're at different levels.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely at different levels. The problem is that last year, because the men's Final Four was on TBS or TNT, and because the women were on ABC and ESPN and the Caitlin Clark effect, it made some people think, because the women's game technically outrated the men's game last year, right? It made some people believe they were on the same playing field, and they are not. If anything, it will show us just the absolute difference, the absolute difference in the two sports